As you may or may not know, I ran a playtest recently of my upcoming game Battle Brewers, and that playtest was like kind of a failure. Nonetheless, I learned a lot about playtesting and about my game, and I want to share that with you in this video. But first, some quick stats. 217 players had access to my game, but of those 200 players, only about 15 players actually played my game, and the median time played was about 24 minutes, which is a lot lower than average. But the real problem lies here in this graph, where you can see that most players stopped playing after about 10 minutes. Players in this category did not even get to 1 level, which is not very good. And that brings me to the very first thing I learned through playtesting on Steam, and that is that the first few scenes need to be good looking. For example, in my game I had this as the main menu and this as the lobby. And just like anything in real life, first impressions are so important. So when you get this as your very first impression, you're thinking, nah, I'm not playing this shit. Speaking of visual impressions, the actual game also needed an upgrade in that regard. And that brings me to lesson number 2, and that is teach players through different cues. I had a tutorial set up where the game was mostly explained through text, but through playtesting I found out that players have various degrees of how much they actually want to read. That meant that some players had a perfect understanding of how the game works, while others had absolutely no clue what was going on. And so for those people who do not like reading, visual cues, that is the way to go. And I already started working on that by, for example, adding more cues in the tutorial or explaining the state of the cauldron through different visual effects, that be icons or particle effects. So what do you do when your playtest fails? You learn from it and you try again. So for the next playtest, which will be in about 2 months, I will be updating the first few screens in my game, and the Steam store page will get a complete makeover. So that is what I learned through playtesting on Steam. If you think, hey, that game idea looks pretty good, then the wishlist on Steam is much appreciated. I hope this video was informative, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.